everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. In this video, I wanted to discuss all the changes that I've done with my Jeep Gladiator EcoDiesel Rubicon. As you can see around me, I'm surrounded by boxes. These are all products that I've installed on this Gladiator over the past month. And it's not all the boxes of everything that we've put on, it's just a couple of them, but we're gonna run down everything right now. So the first product we're gonna talk about is this AEV 2-inch spacer suspension lift. This is a spacer lift, it's not actually a suspension lift. It utilizes your stock springs and shocks that come with the Gladiator, which are the Fox shocks. They're actually very good shocks. I didn't really want to get rid of them, so I could have gone with like the 2-inch Mopar lift. Essentially would have given me the same results. I think that lift is actually a little bit higher. However, this is a great kit for just being a spacer lift. The reason why I liked it is a couple things. So most spacer lifts just come with your isolators. This one's going to come with your sway bar end links. It's going to come with bump stops. It will come with shock extenders, and it's also going to come with drop brackets for your drive shaft as well, just to keep your drive shaft in the proper alignment. It was supposed to come with this ProCal snap. However, they are out of this product here, so you can still get the kit just without the ProCal snap. Wasn't a big deal for me, just because I did go out and purchase a different product that will essentially do the same thing, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. So instead of the ProCal snap, I went with this product here. This is Z Automotive's Tazer JL Mini. They also make a Tazer JL Lite. The Mini actually gives you a couple more options. That's why I went with this one. It essentially is going to do the same thing as the ProCal snap. Why you're going to need this is because you're going to need something to recalibrate your tire size. That's why I needed it, because I went from 33s to 37s. But it can do various other things too. You can reset your gear ratio. There's a whole bunch of features in here. I'm not going to go into it. However, this is a great product and almost a must-have if you're going to be lifting your Jeep or putting bigger tires on. All right, speaking of those 37-inch tires, the tires I actually went with are the factory tires, the stock tires that came with it. The stock, it came with the 285/70/17, which are the Falken Wildpeak AT3s. I ran those for about a month. They were great. I loved them. Great tire, awesome in the snow. We've had a lot of snow over the past month here in Michigan. I've been driving an hour back and forth to work. I've never used four-wheel drive once at all this year, just because the tires, they hook up so well. So when I sold the 33-inch Falken Wildpeaks, I went to a 37-inch Falken Wildpeak AT3 as well. The all-terrains, they've performed flawlessly for me. There was about a week or so in between going from the 33s to the 37s where I was actually running a set of 35s. They were actually the 35s that I had on my Jeep Wrangler JKU. I recently went up to 38s on the JKU. I still had the 35s. They were in a 16-inch wheel, so the only way they would work on my JT was running a spacer with it, basically an adapter. It gave it a very stanced look. Some guys really like that. I didn't personally care for it. The wheels stuck out way too far past the fenders for my liking, so you're getting all that stuff thrown up on your vehicle as you're going down the road. The other thing too was the fact that 35s, when you put a 2-inch lift on, they almost look too small. You can actually put 35s on these JTs, no lift at all, run it just fine. So when you put a 2-inch lift on it and then throw 35s on it, you just have a ton of wheel well space. So I put the 37s on, didn't look back. It looks awesome in there. All right, so the next modification that we did with the Gladiator is when I bought the Gladiator, I got the bumper that is winch capable, winch ready. So you just need a winch plate and you need a winch. I did get a worn winch plate, which works with the JT platform. And then I also went to Harbor Freight, and I did get the Badlands Apex 12K synthetic winch. I went with this winch for a couple reasons. One, it gets amazing reviews. That, and it's really cheap. What you get out of the box, it's a great product. I think it retails for about $600. However, Harbor Freight throws discounts every once in a while, and I think I got it for just over $500, which is a steal for a 12K winch. All right, so the next product I want to talk about is the RCI 12-inch half rack, which is a bed rack. So I got that product, and I also purchased separately the adapters that go with it. You do not need the adapters unless you plan on running a tonneau cover. I wanted a tonneau cover with my my JT, so I got the adapters with it. This product I put on myself. I do have an install video for it if you want to check that out. I'll try to link it in the video here. It's a relatively easy install. Did not come with any directions, so you're just kind of piecing it together as you go. But like I said, I installed it in my garage in just a couple of hours, so it's not that hard to do. Along with the RCI bed rack, I also purchased the BAK Revolver X4s tonneau cover. There probably are other tonneau covers that will work with this bed rack. However, you know, this is the one that I like the most. Wasn't too crazy expensive. It was a little expensive, but you know, as far as bed rack or tonneau covers go. But that one is the one I chose. And I do have an install video for that tonneau cover as well. If you want to check that out, I'll try to link that as well. Next modification I want to talk about is this right here. This is the WeBoost cell phone signal booster. It's the Drive 4GX OTR model. This is actually the trucker model, but you could put it on any vehicle. A lot of Jeepers will use this, and a lot of people using RVs will also use this as well to essentially just boost your cell phone reception. So if you're someplace off grid, when we go up to Drummond every year, there's next to no cell phone signal up there. So this is just a product that when you're out in the woods, you know, it's just going to give you better reception. So I actually had this originally on my JKU. I took it off that, I put it on the JT, and then I have it mounted with this here. This is a Rhino Rack folding aerial bracket. That way, you know, when I want to use it, I can just, here's a picture of the bracket right here. So when I want to use it, I just flip this bracket up and it extends the booster all the way up. That way you get a better reception. It should be the highest point of your vehicle. And then when I don't really need it, I could just flip this down and then it kind of tucks away really nice behind the bed of the truck. While we're on the subject of communications, I do run a GMRS radio in my JT as well. It's a Midland brand. I forget exactly which model it is. I just went to Best Buy. They will install that kind of stuff for you. If you're doing a lot of installation on your vehicle that's electronic related, I would suggest getting their Total Tech program. I think it's like $200 for the year. But that covers anything you want to get installed on your vehicle. You can also take your computers in to get fixed and whatnot too. I basically just use it for auto installation stuff. I have that mounted in my glove box, and then I do have what's called a Uniden Bearcat speaker that's connected to that externally. That way when I'm talking on the radio, I can hear the people better. I was running a CB radio in my JKU and a GMRS on my JKU. However, I didn't want them both hardwired in. If I want a CB, I'll just get a handheld one. All right, so the next modification is this here. This is the Viofo A139. It's a triple channel dash cam. We have dash cams in all of our vehicles. I have one in the JKU, my wife's Ram, and then now the JT as well. This is a little bit different than the ones that we have in our other vehicles because it's a triple cam. So basically it's got a camera that faces forward while you're driving. It's got one facing the rear, and then it also has one in the interior as well. So far I really like it. I've just checked out a couple of the videos on it. The quality seems really well, and I'm pretty impressed with it so far. The next product we're going to talk about here is this bullet point mounting solutions. These are phone brackets. There are various different kinds that you can get from Bullet Point. I modified mine a little bit just because my cell phone actually has a case that has a magnet in the back end of it. So I just modified their mount a little bit to, basically I went to the hardware store, got some metal screws or plates, put it on their bracket, and that way I can just throw my cell phone on there and it just sticks right to it. They also make a product where you can put a piece of metal on the back of your phone and then it attaches to a magnet. I believe that's their Diablo system. Awesome product. They are very similar to 67 designs, however they are quite a bit cheaper, and I would say they're just as good. Mounted to my bed rack, I have essentially knockoff Rotopacks. I didn't want to pay double the price for a Rotopacks product for a product that was going to contain fuel or hold fuel. So I just got on eBay. The product is called Beasteal fuel containers, and I did buy the locks that go with that as well. you know, they hold fuel. I put DEF fluid in one, and I put diesel fuel in another one. So one of the very first things I put on my JT Gladiator is a Smartliner. It's called a Smartliner Rugged Bed Mat. I got it off Amazon. If you did get your Gladiator without the spray-in bed liner and you don't want to pay the $500 to take it someplace to get it done, this is $100. It basically is just going to be thrown in the back of the bed. It doesn't go anywhere. It's really thick. It's like a really thick rubber material. It's going to protect the bed from any dents or dings or scratches. You know, for $100, you can't go wrong with this product. So in the back of the truck, I do keep a bunch of recovery gear. I do have a pair of recovery boards. They're not the name brand ones. They're just the knockoff ones. They work just fine. I have an axe. I have a shovel mounted to the bed rack as well. I keep D-rings. I keep straps, you know, tree savers. I have a jump box in the back, extension cords, tools, first aid kit, you know, all the basic stuff that you should probably carry with you if you're going to be off-roading. So that pretty much wraps up this build so far. I say so far just because everyone knows when they get a Jeep, it's an ongoing process of things that you're just going to keep adding to it. If you guys have any questions on any of these products, just shoot me a comment or a message. I'll try to get back to you the best I can, and I will, you know, give my honest review on these products. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you along for the adventure. Peace.